stood before it, his gaze fixed on the glowing fruit. "Tell me about this," he sighed softly, his voice kind. "Finage," she told him about the old woman and about the seed, cheered it with songs and stories. She didn't speak of her poverty or the cruel face. She only spoke of the kindness she sought and the hope she poured into the plant. "It is all I have to give, your highness," she finished, her voice trembling. "The gift from art." The prince reached out and gently touched a leaf on the plant. A warm peace from it. He then looked directly into Adana's eyes, and for the first time, she felt truly seen. He saw kindness, the resilience, and the pure, unblemished spirit that the others had been too blind to notice. "You have brought me the greatest treasure of all," Prince Adebayo declared, his voice resonating across the silent courtyard. "Other maidens have brought me things that can be bought with gold or crafted by hand. But you have brought me a gift that can love yourself, a heart of pure gold." He took the pot from her hands, and then, to the utter shock of everyone, he took her hand in his. He turned to face the stunned Chidinma, and Ebel's face is frozen in disbelief. "I have found my queen," the prince announced. "I have found the heart I have been searching for." A thunderous cheer erupted from the people. Adana, the poor orphan girl, was chosen by the prince, not for riches or beauty, but for the richness of her character. She learned that day that true worth is not measured by the goodness you cultivate within your own soul. And as she stood by the side, a single, knowing look from the crowd caught her eye. It was the old woman from the forest, who gave her a slow, proud wink before disappearing back into the throng. Adana's new life had just begun, a life where her kindness was finally her crown. In a vibrant village nestled at the foot of the great Kilimanjaro, a young girl named Amara. Her spirit was as bright as the morning sun, but her life was shrouded in sorrow. Orphaned at a young age, she lived with her cruel stepmother and two stepsisters. Zola and Kenna, who were known in the village for their vanity and arrogance. Their family was wealthy, but Amara was treated no better than a servant. She wore rags, ate scraps, and her bed was a thin mat on the kitchen floor. Zola and Kenna spent their days preening themselves, adorning their hair with gold beads and wrapping their waists in the finest kente cloth. They would often mock Amara. "Look at her, covered in soot." Zola would sneer. "Even the goats look cleaner than you, Amara," Kenna would add. And they would both erupt in cruel laughter. Amara never responded. Instead, she would find solace in the small garden behind their compound. She grew sweet yams and colorful flowers, talking to the birds and butterflies as if they were her only friends. One day, a royal messenger arrived in the village square, his voice booming like a drum. Here. Say our great kingdom is seeking a wife. A grand festival will be held at the royal palace in 3 days' time. All eligible maidens in the land are invited to attend. The news sent a jolt of excitement in the village. Every maiden dreamed of catching the prince's eye. Zola and Kenna were beside themselves with glee. "The prince will surely choose one of us," a declared, practicing smile in a polished gourd. "Mother, we need new silks, the finest from the markets." Kenna demanded, their mother eager to see one of her daughters become queen. Spared no expense. Amara's heart fluttered with a secret hope. She too dreamed of going to the festival when the prince, but just to experience a night of music, dancing, and joy away from her dream. Timidly, she approached her stepmother. "Mother," her voice barely a whisper. May I also? Her stepmother and stepsister stared at her as if she had grown a second head, then burst into laughter. You? Her stepmother scoffed. What? You would bring shame, family. Your place here, scrubbing the floors and tending the fire. Zola and Kenna chimed in. The prince would faint at the sight of you. Stay where you belong. The Ash girl. Defeated, Amara retreated to her garden, tears streaming down her dusty cheeks. She felt a profound sadness, a loneliness that seemed to seep into her very bones. As she wept, a gentle voice startled her. My child, why do you cry? Amara looked up to see an old woman with vacant eyes, her face etched with the wisdom of many years. She was the village elder, a woman said to possess ancient magic. Amara poured out her heart, telling the old man about her cruel family and her shattered dream. The elder listened patiently, then smiled. Tears will not get you to the festival, little one, but courage and a kind heart might. She handed Amara a single, small, cowrie shell. And this, in your gun, she instructed. Water it with the water from the ancient baobab tree in the magic of your own spirit. Though confused, Amara did as she was told. She planted the shell, fetched the distant baobab, and whispered her hopes into the soil. The next morning, the shell had been planted, stood a magnificent gown. It was woven from moonbeams and starlight, shimmering with all the colors of dawn. Beside it lay sandals made of pure gold, an necklace of dewdrops that sparkled like diamonds. On the night of festival, as her step-family left in their finery, Amara bathed in the nearby stream, dressed in garments, to the palace. When she entered the grand hall, a hush fell over the crowd.